Toyota's Neal Bates and Simon Evans might be leading the Australian Rally Championship, but if they're going to win Rally of Canberra, they'll have to beat their old foes, Cody Crocker, Dean Herridge and Scott Pedder, all now in the Asia-Pacific title. By rights, they shouldn't be racing. The Asia-Pacific and the Australian Championship are two different events which just happen to be on the same stages at the same time. But after almost 2 years of not racing each other, no one is going to tell these guys not to go for it.
I guess the last 2 years we haven't raced each other. I think if you ask Cody and I, all we look at is our times. That's it. I only look at Cody's. Don't care what's going on behind me. So it's sort of, we say we don't race each other. That's more for the bosses, but we are racing.
Rally of Canberra sees Asia-Pacific champion Cody Crocker come out of hibernation. He hasn't competed since Rally of China last year. Cody has dominated Asia-Pacific, winning the last 2 years and claiming victory in 11 out of 12 rallies. He became a first-time dad over summer, but it's not mellowed him.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome to be able to get back into the seat and race against these guys. You don't get to see them in the rest of the Asia-Pacific rounds, but Dean and Herridge will be doing most of the rounds this year, so there'll be a really tough competition. We had a good fight in China late last year. But yeah, Simon Evans, he's always he's a benchmark, I guess. We've had this a bit of a really good fight for many, many years, and I haven't been able to be in the Australian Championship to fight him directly, but this will be, I guess, as direct as we can get. He's actually running sort of quite a few cars back on the road from us in the separate section. So you know, we've got to run first car on the road, which means we sweep a lot of gravel, but then you know, it's still, we're fighting on the same road, so it's going to be a good fight.
Asia-Pacific entrants get starting precedence in Canberra, so ARC competitors Michael Guest and Eli Evans have also entered the Asia-Pacific to gain better road position well clear of the ARC leading Toyotas, which are not homologated for Asia-Pacific. It's a bit of a gamble. If the road's cut up, the front runners get an advantage, but if they pack down, the table could turn in favour of the back markers. Starting in an unaccustomed 20th road position, Neal Bates is not only the hometown hero, he's also #1 in the ARC after winning round 1 in Perth. He's also very keen to test his S2000 against the world's best.
Look, I think it's actually going to be a very unique situation for us because you know, our S2000 Corolla, I think, is showing very, very good pace at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes against an international field, and you know, it'll hopefully the rest of the world will step up and have a look and you know, think that we're building a pretty good car.
Team TRD has put a new engine in Simon Evans' Corolla after its freak breakdown while leading in Perth. An oil blockage traced to a rogue sump patch caused the problem. Crews are allowed just 3 engines for the season, so Evans' engine strategy is now out of sequence. Not a big problem, but worth watching. Also worth watching will be the spectator stages in the Cowan Forest. The jumps are bigger, the tunnel requires more commitment, and the water splash is more consistent. In a way, that's compensation for the fact that this year, Canberra's famous mine shaft is not to be used, a victim of a zealous risk containment program and the lack of budget to fix it. But at least that increases the chances of this quality field, surely the best to be assembled this season, remaining intact and fighting to the finish.